I am Lauren Brown. I am an author and a tech entrepreneur, and I have just written a book called Raif and Rose World on Fire. I started writing as a means of expressing my imagination. It's something that I've always done from when I was very, very young. I get these wonderful, amazing worlds and I want to share them with people. And one of the best ways to do that is through writing and words. Raif and Rose World on Fire starts about 18 months after the events of the Death Letter. And these characters, Raif and Rose, are grappling with the consequences of Mongolia. They're grappling with the increased attention on them and this fame that they're dealing with. And on top of that, they have these really powerful dark forces, Pegasus and Rendell, after them. And so it's up to them to be somehow themselves while also dealing with these massive forces and of course hijinks and drama and insanity ensue. I think readers can expect to delve deeper into the characters, into the internal world of Raif and Rose, as well as an expansion on the world that these twins are living in. There are more characters. You've got some of the favorites from book one, and then as well now you've got more characters coming into this. So the world's expanding, the narrative is getting bigger, and they can expect some of the great things that they loved about the first book, the traveling, that international experience, and the glitz, the glamour, the drama. And I think they can also expect some really great action and fight scenes and really a lot of good drama. And the feedback I've had from it so far is that it's unpredictable. So that's a good thing. My favorite authors, I would say Michelle Segara is the first of my favorite authors. She is someone who writes primarily fantasy fiction, and I just love the way that she manages to make families of characters that are, she expands on this world. She creates these species, and you really connect to them. You connect to the emotional progression of these characters. And I think the next one I would list is Leigh Bardugo. I think that she does a great job also of building worlds. But one of the things I love most about her writing is that she really adds a lot of atmosphere. You feel, the dampness of a city that she's creating. You feel the magic in the cold. And so I would put her as one. And then lastly, I would say Nnedi Okorafor. She is a great Afrofuturist writer, and I love that her work is both, it's vibrant, it's refreshing, it's captivating, and I love the way that she melds tradition with a super future. And yeah, so I would say those three women for sure. My favorite genre to write in, I would say, is a kind of really grounded fantasy. So it blends with a few different genres. I would say I'm somewhere between kind of mystery, like a murder mystery, science fiction, fantasy. I put those two together. And then also, I think realistic drama and, romance and that kind of thing. Those are my favorite genres to write in and explore. I think they take from all the things and influences I have. And yeah, so I put them all in, but I think it's just reality with a little bit of magic on top. A book I wish I had written. I don't think that there's any particular book that I would say, oh, I wish I had that. But I do think I would love to talk to authors of some of the books that I've really enjoyed. And I think the same favorite authors that I mentioned, Segara, Bardugo, Okorafor, I would love to kind of hear about, how they built their worlds, how they pull their atmosphere in. I think that there's a lot to be learned from other writers. And so I think it's about making my work the best it can be and taking what I can from everybody else. My writing process, it starts with an emotion. I really want to create a mood and a feeling and a tone. I think of the after effect. When someone's closed my book, what emotions do I want them to walk away with? What do I want them to feel? And there are different events and stories and things that you can pull into your narrative that kind of create those feelings. And then from there, I do an outline, beginning, middle, end, just kind of raw, ideas, and fill in, as I'm going through. And then there's a moment where you hit, pure inspiration, brain to paper, and you're just writing and you're letting whatever happens. At that point, it might be that I'm, scratching things out of my outline or changing things, and I just kind of let it flow. And eventually that becomes a book. I don't think I'm similar to my characters directly. I do think that all of my characters have elements of myself in them. Raif and Rose, I would say, are probably the strongest tie. Rose is, hard charging, tough. She has a clear view of what she wants and how to get it. I think Raif is equally as brave, but he's, to me, much more of an internal and emotional person. George he likes things to be neat. He likes a certain kind of, experience, and to know that what he's expecting is what's going to be delivered. And you have characters like Sam and Siobhan, who are both kind of blunt and weirdly loyal. And so I would say all of my characters have parts of me, but none of them are directly me. For aspiring authors, I would say the biggest thing is to just write, to put your ideas on paper, and to not judge your writing, to just let it flow out. If it's a sentence, if it's a paragraph, just start writing. And it won't, when you first start, it won't feel like you are doing anything, or it will feel painful. You kind of just don't want to do it. But if you want to be a writer, just anything, even writing things like, I don't feel like writing today, blah, 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 blah. All of that starts to get the ball rolling. And so the second thing I would say is to make sure that you're getting input from the right places. Make sure that it's coming from people who understand the kind of story you're trying to tell. If someone prefers realistic historical fiction, and you're going with something that's high fantasy and mostly a comedy, that person might not be the right one to evaluate your work. So I would say find someone who understands your work. And I would say also, do not judge your writing. That's the third thing I would say. When you are creating something, it might not make sense to you. It might sound too crazy, or it might be something different from what everyone else says is popular or is good. But write it anyway. That's where the innovation comes from. It comes from doing something different. And those ideas are always seen as strange at first. So do it anyway. What do I have next? Always there is Raif and Rose, the next book in the series. So that's book 3. And I'm also working on a coffee table book. This is kind of separate. It's not in the series idea. It's just an exercise in frivolity, pretentiousness, and also gravitas. I love the way they look, and I just want to create one for myself, and hopefully other people will enjoy it. And as well, there's so many other worlds and narratives that I want to explore. Characters that are, waiting to be written, and worlds and languages and experiences that are waiting to be written. So all of that is up the pike. Yes, I'm planning to do a tour for this book. I want to take the world of Raif and Rose on the road. There's so much to explore and experience, and I think there's something really fun about experiencing it with people and being able to share, hear their thoughts and hear what their feelings are, and to really kind of become, in a way, that worldliness that these characters inhabit. So we are going on tour. That is the plan, and I'm excited. Oh, thank you.